till every other region in Nigeria, focus on the north and fire them properly. Fire them properly till the north are able to distinguish themselves from this radical Islamization and Janjaweeds. There will never be any peace in this nation.
You see, I'm so happy with the way Tinubu has turned against the North. And if Tinubu is given opportunity, come 2027, what North is seeing is just a glimpse of what Tinubu is going to do to them. You understand? Tinubu is not like Jonathan. That's one thing you must know. If it was Tinubu during Goodluck Jonathan and President Muhammad Buhari election in 2020, in 2011, I mean 2015, you understand, Buhari would have been in prison because he made some comment previous to that election that should have landed him in prison. If it was Tinubu that was there, Buhari would have ended up in prison. But Jonathan allowed it to lies and he left everything. So as it stands right now, everybody or anybody that is ready to stand on Tinubu's way from the north, he is ready to clear everybody off from his path so that he can win his second term bid. You understand? That is why I said Tinubu is the karma of the north. It was God that really visited the north. Their evil came on them. That is what is happening right now. I'm sure next time, North will not object to same ticket, same religious ticket, Muslim ticket or Christian ticket. North will never agree to it again because they have had a taste of it. And it's so sweet, and I'm watching it and I'm so laughing because it's very sweet.
But rather, there will only be a process where these people are gradually going to eat up everybody. And that is just it. And my reasons are not far-fetched. Why is it that in the midst of all these things now for more than a decade, radical killing, radical unaliving has been associated majorly with the North? That is to say, there is a problem with the North. There is a problem with the North that every other region must face and confront. I know they fear anybody here. I will tell you as it is. And if you have any counter proof to that, bring up a counter proof. Till they are able to distinguish themselves from all these things and make moves that actually curtails this thing, I am telling you, every other region must kick against them, kick against me, kick against everybody of my whatever. But I'm telling you, till everybody kick against this, we're not going anywhere. That is my move. So let me put your mind to rest. In case you are thinking I'm not actually anti-North properly, I don't register my mind now, say I'm anti-North as far as the present status quo remains until proven otherwise. Are you good?
The northern leaders, you know that all along, they think that they are clever. They are using these terrorists to intimidate all of us, to get what they want. You know, whenever they want anything, they unleash these guys to make things uncomfortable for all of us. I will now be scrambling to please them and all that. Meanwhile, they will now stay back and then be talking, making political statements, making political demands, while their boys are disturbing the government. That is how they have been operating, using these guys as a leverage against some of us, because they know that down south here, we are mostly Christians and very peaceful. We don't want this violence. But they are using it against us. Now, the thing has backfired. Like every other thing like this. You know, those who ride on the back of the tiger always end up on the belly of the tiger. It's like the North is about to end up in the belly of the tiger because the guys are on rampage now. And they are thinking that if care is not taken, this may boomerang into a war. Because if this thing continues, all these attacking Christians, killing Christians, kidnapping Christians, don't you think that at a point, the Christians will rise up and there will be a problem in this country? So the country they want to control will no longer be there. That is their fear now. This thing that they are not doing it for you. They have realized that at a point, something will give. Not now that America is now interested in what is going on here. If they continue this attack, I bet my last couple something will give. The people that are not interested in this violence and killing and kidnapping, they will say, no, we are leaving Nigeria. And then who will now come and say, okay, come, who? Who will come and say it? That's what they are afraid of. So if they really mean what they are saying, because they have said something like this before, but at the end of the day, nothing happened. The state police, will they be working with the Hisbah police in the north? Please tell me. Will they allow them to work? Because the state police are going to work according to the constitution. Don't you see a clash here?
Yes.
Malame Rufai's situation is political. We all know. As at the time Malame Rufai was the minister of Abuja, the position that is currently held by Nyesom Wike, then Nuhu Ribadu was the head of the EFCC. We know how close they were. Their friendship was something everyone would want to emulate at that time. It is even alleged that the NSA now, Nuhu Ribadu, named one of his children before Nasir Rufai. Yes, from some source I've heard that actually one of Nuhu Ribadu's children bears Rufai's name. Yes. So, because politics is a game where no permanent friends or permanent enemy, as of today, Nuhu Ribadu is at the middle of Malame Rufai's ordeal. Yes, you cannot take that away. That's a fact. So now, I want to ask, if many years after Rufai left office, it is only now that he's questioning the alleged importation of a poisonous gas, that he wrote a letter to the NSA to inquire as to why those gas were imported. Only now his corruption charges while he was governor is now coming up. Well, that's not the topic for today. I'm only trying to say that as a Nigerian, he deserves to be alive to undergo his trials. And as at this moment, that his health are deteriorating, he deserves to be granted bail on health ground. Please, the ICPC should look into that. And as a matter of urgency and as soon as possible, he should be allowed to go take care of his health and return for his trial. He's not going to run away. He's not. Let me tell you something. I may not like Malame Rufai, but the fact is that apart from being a religious bigot to me, I liken him to the Adams Oshomole of my state. He's brave and fearless. Yes. Yes. I like him for that. If I want to use my own judgment to judge him, I will never give him credit because of the role he played against Peter Obi in the 2023 general election. But as I stand now, I stand as a Nigerian. He deserves to have life to undergo trial. And the ICPC should please look into that and grant him bail to go for medical treatment.
Hello viewers, and welcome back to the channel. So we've heard what those people have to say, and it's obvious that the eyes of these northern leaders and the Arewas, let me use that word, is beginning to open. Because tell me why President Tinubu lured them into voting for him, according to them, via Muslim ticket. Now in the history of Nigeria, this is the first time a Muslim ticket is actually running. And what they do is that, since they know that that is the easiest way to get the North to vote for them, because most of them are actually religious fanatics, because they know that that's the only way they can convince these people and get them to vote for someone that is not a northerner. They decided to use Muslim ticket to get them. Now they are saying, no, with what happened to Rufai now, a lot of them are saying, they're not going to vote for Tinubu come 2027. Well, with or without, and lots of people are saying with or without the North, Tinubu will still win. We don't know where that is coming from and what they are actually depending on, or how they feel like if the South is, if the eastern part of Nigeria, that is the Igbos, and the North don't vote for Tinubu and he'll still win. Maybe it's only the Southerners that are going to make him win, we don't know. But in as much as those people are not ready to be enlightened, and their leaders know how to get them, and that is why they will just go give them small money, and before you know, convince them that, oh, this one is their religion, is a Muslim, and before you know, they will all vote for him. So it's even a thing of joy now that their eyes are beginning to open. They are now seeing it for themselves. Because tell me why most strategic positions is Yorubas that are just there. Tinubu is actually a strategic man, and they call him a master strategist. Yes, we all know that. But at this point, I think it's becoming too much. Let's not even talk about what his administration is doing. Why does he not want to vote for Tinubu? Why? What is he doing? And this mentality of saying if it's not a northerner in power, they're not going to do this, they're not going to do that. The North does not control Nigeria. It shouldn't. We are the one giving them power. Because tell me why everybody believes that it's only the North that can make a president. And that's why they had to make it a Muslim ticket. APC had to make it like that. But is that even the right thing to do? This is becoming annoying at this point. Well, what's your take on this? Let's talk in the comment section, and if today is your first time joining my channel, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
What area of Nigeria's life has President Bola Ahmed Tinubu improved in terms of the economy and security? For all we can see and experience, Nigeria's insecurity is worse than inherited by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with terrorists and armed bandits, sometimes called gunmen, expanding their coasts in Nigeria. The X-Men terrorism added to the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community by Muhammadu Buhari has been pervasive throughout Nigeria since 2015 till date. But under the same Muhammadu Buhari emerged armed bandit groups, and I asked what was the cause, and the answer that I got was that as the economic situation got worsened, the worsening mass abject poverty led to mushrooming armed bandits, scavenging with violence for what to eat. So now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on coming to power, what did he promise? To toe the line of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, who imposed the jihadist war on Nigeria. Jonathan, Jonathan, who perpetrated the war, inherited by Muhammadu Buhari, who added X-Men terrorism, doubled himself as Nigeria's petroleum minister, and the sector degenerated to constant fuel price increase. Muhammadu Buhari inherited 98 naira per liter of petrol, the premium motor spirit petrol that we call petrol, was 98 naira per liter when Muhammadu Buhari became the president. By the time he ended the second term in 2023, fuel price was around 200 naira plus. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu got power, reneged on his promise to bring down fuel price. Instead, he entered through the angle of no more fuel subsidy and escalated price to more than triple what Nigerians were lamenting under the presidency of Muhammadu Buhari, by declaring no more fuel subsidy, and even that no more subsidy for electricity, for education or anything, yet paying workers less than living wage, sinking Nigeria in worse debts than ever. So, and that further compounded criminalities, leading to worse insecurity than under Buhari. Because now you have the armed bandits, sometimes called gunmen, terrorists, operating in wider scope than under Buhari. So now the question, on what basis will President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seek re-election in 2027? On the basis of propaganda or what? Because otherwise, his age and state of health have never been in support of his becoming Nigeria's president to start with. Because he has continued to go back to London or Paris to take care of his own health. So outside of the propaganda of renewed hope agenda, the claim of economic reform and all of that, what has President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to show for his seeking re-election in 2027? Propaganda. The same propaganda used by Muhammadu Buhari to get re-elected in 2019, supported by Bola Ahmed Tinubu and others who saw nothing wrong with the brutalities of Muhammadu Buhari presidency. And so, Nigerians should tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu what Americans told Joe Biden: don't seek re-election. And the message was clear, was loud and clear. And Joe Biden had no option than to forgo his re-election bid. That is the issue. Age, health, failure are not in support of Tinubu seeking re-election. And the same thing, so Tinubu should be put in his place, as Atiku Abubakar should be put in his place. That this year you become 80, next year you become 81, and you want to become Nigeria's president at 81. If you have no conscience other than desperation to become Nigeria's president, Nigerians as foolish as to give you their votes? So anyway, these are the considerations. These are the considerations. We cannot stop Tinubu from desperation. Tinubu and Atiku, we cannot stop them from desperation. But we have seen the desperation of Muhammadu Buhari, who was desperate for many years before succeeding in becoming Nigeria's president, always using the same deceptive campaign of why should Nigeria not have stable electricity? What nonsense is that? Why should fuel not be sold for 50 naira per liter rather than 98 naira? All of that confused too many Nigerians. They voted for Muhammadu Buhari. And having gotten power in 2015, Muhammadu Buhari became something else. And look for somebody who will compromise in person of Professor Mahmood Yakubu to be the chairman of the so-called Independent National Electoral Commission, who was doctoring everything for the so-called All Progressives Congress, 2015 to 2023. And so, this time around, to now say that this trend should continue, perpetuation of war against the Boko Haram Muslim community, herdsmen terrorism, looting of Nigeria's oil wealth in the name of fuel subsidy, and politicizing Islam and Christianity as a corollary, to the extent of declaring no subsidy for anything and subsidizing Hajj to the tune of more than 90 billion. Nigerians, if they have fed you with the alcohol of Islam and Christianity, the haze must clear from your eyes now. Oh my God. You thought they are holy religions. Sorry for you. They are political, economic religions. That's why they are competing They want you to become followers of Christ, of Jesus Christ, and to believe that God will not answer your prayer unless you belong to Jesus Christ, or that you accept Prophet Muhammad and Quran. You are, I don't know, infidel. God. How old are Christianity and Islam? How old are Judaism, Christianity, Islam? They are historical religions fabricated in the course of history to enslave people, to enslave and exploit people in synagogue, church, and mosque. Otherwise, God is eternal, and the world has existed since time immemorial. Whereas Judaism, Christianity, and Islam came in history as a ploy to enslave and exploit people. And that's what they do in synagogue, church, and mosque. Tell me if it is otherwise. But now, tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you love him, not to bother to seek re-election in 2027. Because his age, state of health, and obvious woeful failure will not make Nigerians to vote for him in 2027. Say similar thing to Atiku Abubakar. He will be 80 this year, 81 next year. He has done enough. Nobody will die, and Nigeria will vanish from the surface of the earth. Life is a stage, so says Shakespeare, where you play your own role and move out. And age changes your status in life. Whereas Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar, like Muhammadu Buhari, are pretending to have the key of life. But the key they have is key of deception, key of foolery, key of lack of conscience, key of lack of consideration for their fellow human beings, self-seeking people who care less about whether the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community is ravaging human lives and economic resources of Nigeria or not, whether herdsmen terrorism is an absurdity in agrarian fields, or that you cannot be claiming fuel subsidy to impoverish Nigeria and Nigerians. And Nigeria is no longer a developing country. It became a retrogressing country or nation since 2009, when the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community started, and has lasted for 16 years. More than 16 years. A nation waging war against itself. Jesus of Nazareth says a nation divided against itself cannot stand. And so Nigeria is crumbling gradually, better under Yaradua than under Jonathan, than under Buhari, and now the worst for now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Worse than Buhari, Buhari worse than Jonathan, Jonathan worse than Yaradua, Yaradua worse than Olusegun Obasanjo. But the straw that broke the camel's back are the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community, a peaceful community until attacked by government forces, and herdsmen terrorism introduced by Muhammadu Buhari, and no more fuel subsidy, no subsidy for electricity, no subsidy for anything, brought by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You see, these are old men that are using primordial tricks to fool people. So Nigerians, if they are deceiving you, for how long will you continue to deceive yourself? They will continue to use propaganda, renewed hope agenda, reformed economic reform, tax reform, propaganda like that, to fool you as under Muhammadu Buhari, who got re-elected despite the brutalities of his first 4 years, and so worse in his second term than in his first term. And now, if Tinubu's first term is like this, what should you expect from him in his second term? What should you expect from him? And the desperate Atiku Abubakar, what should you expect from him? Somebody who has no sense of justice or equity, careless about whether the presidency should rotate north and south. Already telling you no conscience, no consideration, other than the separation to get power, for the same way Muhammadu Buhari did, the same way Bola Ahmed Tinubu did. That is the message. Neither Tinubu nor Atiku. We must return to the path of justice. Put religion where the constitution puts it, in the private realm. If you can't organize your own pilgrimage board and fund your pilgrimages, forget about your pilgrimages. Nigeria is not existing for religion, it's existing for Nigerians under God, the creator of all.